Walaikum salam, Harun bhai, Mia bhai. How are you guys doing? Okay, I think my YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram is working. That should be okay. And जी पूछें क्वेश्चन पूछें. मार्केट कैसे ऑब्जर्व करते हैं हम एज ए डे ट्रेडर? हम तो देखते हैं कि हमारा ट्रेंड किस तरफ का है. तो हमारा सॉफ्टवेयर फॉर एग्जांपल करंटली अगर आप स्क्रीन देखें, या सो you can look at the micro 2 point ट्रैफर पर टोटल रिटर्न क्या मिलता है. So a micro 2 point is only $10, so your commission may be approximately $2. So you're getting $8 with Ninja. If you're doing with GFF, your commission may be up to $4. If you're doing micro, at least for testing, pick at least 3 points and then start trailing 3 points, 4 points, because then it's worth it for micro, right? So for beginners, you should do micro. Uh, and Okay, first of all, the pivot point idea is pretty simple. If you look at your 240-minute chart, you will see PP. It says pivot point, right? I can look at it right now. You can see it too. So I'll tell you a pretty good secret. It works quite a few number of times. The way is like, for example, this was a long weekend. So we had a Friday high and a Friday, and some markets did a little bit of a movement on Sunday evening, right? And very little on Monday evening. So Tuesday morning today, give me 1 second to see exactly how I can tell you what happened this morning, and you'll be able to exactly test this theory next time. Give me a second. Because of the long weekend here, things were like, give me 1 second. Let me pull up some data from the past. Mini is $8 in Canada, and on Ninja is a little bit low, not slow. All right, let's take a look at a 15 10 chart at 9:30 in the morning, and again 30-20 chart 9:30. So I'll be able to tell you down pretty accurately. All right, take a look at September 6th, 12 a.m. to 9:30, 12 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And so you had a night session low of 4486. It's a little bit difficult to make the screen bigger, but you can follow it on your chart on 3020. So now we knew the night session low was 4486, and the night session high was approximately 45. 06. Give me a second because it's not so clear. So your night session high, okay. Your night session high at 12 o'clock was 4502. Your night session low was 4486. So now you got these 2 points already before the market opens. So to be able to judge it, that which direction it goes down, if at 9:30 price opens below pivot point, the midline. So it does a night session high, it does a night session low, and then there's a very little, you should see a yellow dotted line, right? Not yellow, but cyan maybe. And if it opens below, first thing it will do is go and test night session low. So this is exactly what it did. It went down and tested the 4486. Because again, all of this is done by computer logarithm, right? So we knew that those were few, like it gave us almost 13 points at that time. And because it tested 4496 and straight went down 13 points. So a lot of time you can kind of predict which way, because as the video talks about it in the training, that generally the morning market will test night session low and high, right? So exactly that's what it did. And then we had some numbers that were coming out. Some numbers are green to go up, and some numbers are green to go down, right? So 9:45 we had some numbers and news, and then we had at 10 o'clock we had some news, and then it was just one way down. And let me tell you exactly on 1510 chart, exactly 1510 charts, how many mid bands we were able to pick up today. So starting 1028, 1054, these two were good enough for you for today. 2 points each, but they fell for 10 points. And then it, like each time, you could have trailed your stop there. What else happened? Then we had a big swing both ways. Went back up. And since in the what happened after 3 o'clock, we had the second session 2 mid bands. So at 335 and then back up at 351, right? So it went all the way from your S1 down to expected low and shot back up to, like, it was a 25 point return from 4446 all the way up to 4470, right? So you can take advantage of diversion, trend trades, position trading, anything and everything. But for beginners, I don't think today we got too many overbought, oversold. I think we got one oversold approximately 1 p.m. Yeah, actually it wasn't the best oversold, because still had some. I like to normally do it when it was 0 or 100. So yeah, reasonable day today. Like, so when you could have shorted from area to area, or but just go with mid band. It's the best safe to. Don't do. Make sure both trends are okay. You have to understand why 1510 changes to bearish is most likely. What you have to do is it may be a retrace on 3020. So the both charts have to be in sync in order to make a trade. So because if it gets overbought, oversold, then you may have a retrace on a 3020. If you want to do mid bands from 3020, it just takes. I had a question that if you want to do mid bands from 3020, that's fine too. But just take a look at it. Just takes forever. Like in order to to do 3020 charts. Give me 1 second. 3020 mid bands. 3020 mid bands all day. We had starting even first 3020 mid band came at 1024, next one came at 1112, and then look, each time it went down, it was like 22 points each time, right? Yeah, but if the mid band changes color, just get out and just make sure you're like whole day you could have seen the market was in free fall. Today was a day of short trading, right? So give me 1 second. I'm just gonna take one call. Hello? हेलो जी सर
भाई कैसे हो?
ठीक ठाक
सर वो काउंट हो गया था अपना सारा फाइनल हो गया उनको मैंने फोन करके ना उसने हेल्प करके मेरा डेमो खोल दिया था और
ठीक है ज़बरदस्त हो गया आपने आपने निंजा निंजा की पे कर दी ना आपने वो सब्सक्रिप्शन पे वगैरह कर दी ना
सब्सक्रिप्शन डेमो वाली पे कर दी थी $11 वाली
हाँ हाँ लेकिन अभी आपने वो करनी है कल आप आ जाएं तो हम आप लेकिन उनको ईमेल कर दें जीएफएफ को कि मेरा निंजा कनेक्ट कर दें
निंजा के
निंजा कनेक्ट कर देना आपका पेड निंजा वर्जन कनेक्ट होगा ना ताकि वो चल पड़े
अभी तो सर अभी मैंने चला के देखा था वो खुल रहा सारा जैसे जैसे आप उस दिन लाइव चल रहा था ना वो
नहीं वो ठीक है लेकिन अभी लेकिन उसने अपना यूज़र नेम पासवर्ड डाल दिया
हाँ जी दे दिया सारा कुछ मेरे को निंजा पेमेंट तो निंजा वाले पे क्लिक करता हूँ तो वो डाल के वो खुल जाता है वो सारा
नहीं आपका अपना अकाउंट भी नज़र आ जाता है
हाँ अकाउंट नंबर जो इसके अंदर अभी आता है डी डी ऐसा ही करके बना
नहीं वो ठीक है लेकिन आपका अपना लाइव अकाउंट नज़र आता है
लाइव हाँ आता तो है सर लाइव लिखा हुआ
चलें कल आप आ जाए ना
कल ट्राई करते थे आप फ्राइडे को आप लोग क्लोज होते हैं ना
हाँ हाँ फ्राइडे बंद है कल आ जाएं
कल आता है चलिए ठीक है सर थैंक यू सो मच
नो प्रॉब्लम ओके नो प्रॉब्लम
ठीक है
ओके You just have to see the night session low, night session high, and see which way the price is going to open. Then it should go down to test one of those. It's opening above pivot point, that means your base is up. If it's opening below pivot point, that means your base is down. So if base is down, it should go and test your night session low. Okay, when the price touches mid-band 1510 chart, but sometime crossover mid-band and I lost money. Okay, are you able to tell me exactly which time that, or if that happened today, so I can then double check on a 30-20 confirmation to see if you did a trade right. That's what is important. And like go on Forex Factory. Nobody was supposed to be trading around until 10 o'clock or even 10:15. Things got stable because when the trend is changing too fast, you know that is not a right time to enter. If it's going, because numbers were supposed to come out exactly at 9:45. We had a scheduled news. So S&P 500 news is your number one thing. So you cannot be trading during the news. And of course, you cannot enter like third or fourth or fifth mid-band because it will get overbought and oversold, right? So you have to make sure that you don't go into 30-20 overbought, oversold area. And of course, if everything seems safe and if it's a first trend, and it's okay. You have to understand the loss, right? There is a loss there, but mid band is your best entry at the risk and reward. Or second best entry is you have to, if on 30-20 there's a diversion, right? And then you enter when the trend has changed, right? So your smart money, mostly we experience 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Overbought, oversold position one more time. Take a look at 3020, and at the bottom left on the bottom you have two lines 8020. So that means how many sellers and buyers are in the market. So when the price gets to overbought and oversold, that's not a good time to do an entry on 1510 chart, because where you're thinking that normally 20. Yeah, that's fine. So if it's too far, but your entry point has to be mid band on 1510, everything. Diversion today, I didn't see it, to be honest. Maybe I missed it, because I only entered through mid bands after 10 o'clock. And I'll be able to tell you exactly my trade time. I entered at 10:45. Yeah, not cross, when they're pinched together. So when the either it's below 20, then it started to get oversold, and if it's above 80, then because first mid band, if it comes and those lines have some distances, it means the thing is not overbought or oversold, right? So 3020, you have to see the confirmation that if it's oversold, it means it retrace. So coming back to the original, you have swing, you have retrace, you have extension, right? If you have no extension, your swing previous, whichever the bigger move is, and same thing is applying on 3020, like over and over. So you have the swing, you have the retrace, you have the extension. And now, for example, let's take a look at current price right now. So price is heading up, and when the trend changed, your first mid band hit at 5:17 p.m. on 3020, but let me check on 1510. Give me 1 second. All right. 312, first mid band going up. 335, second mid band going up. 356, third mid band going up. And right now, it is because it's market closed after that, now it's at 4468. It's another mid band, and it's giving you higher, 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 low. Yeah, that's fine. You can enter from here, and if it color changes, everything seems fine. It's not overbought, oversold. I don't see any problem right here. Let's see. Diverge. We had at 305, we had a 8 point, overbought, and then it fell for only 8 points. So again, that's where 1 second. 335 RSI is too high, and 1 second on the right. 1 second, let me get to 335. Yes. So at 335. global cursor so I can global and global. You can set in your Ninja Trader 235. Okay, no problem. 235. 235. I don't see a mid band on let me see ES because I'm on a micro. Let me get to ES. I don't see it hitting mid band on 1510 235. Yeah, it climbed quite a bit. The reason is if you take a look at 3020, it went from 4447 all the way up to 4470, like in a single shot, right? Okay, don't be scared to enter. If things are okay, you get best risk to reward. It's a 3 point, right? So if things are okay, you can enter, make 2 points, and it will go in your direction. Because you have to understand, you have to enter somewhere, right? As long as you know your loss, and your loss is 3 points, then enter. That's it. That's otherwise you keep missing those midpoints, mid bands, right? So the idea is you enter and you make your 2 points, and that's it. And you put a 3 point stop loss, and then you're done. It was a little risky because it's quickly got overbought. So yes, you're right that I would take caution. For example, if you take a look at the mid band at 3:12 p.m., the reason is I don't like this mid band because the large triggers were magenta, right? So that's again something I wouldn't have done, right? So let me see. The large triggers were magenta, right? Even though it went down at exactly 312, black candle to the upside on a 3020, you had your mid band, and but those large triggers could have stopped me to get in on a 1510 chart exactly at 312. Those triggers I wouldn't have entered, but then it just one, two, three mid bands up. Now it's the fourth one. So you have on 1510 you have a diversion to the downside. If you look at, there's a line on your 1510. Take a look at from 4447 to 4475. You see a line because your strength and your moving averages, there's a line there, so that means there's a diversion to the downside. Now, personally, the 1510 diversion I overlook a lot of times because it has sometimes in the past hasn't done exactly, but a 3020 diversion does work. The problem is market is dead at the moment, so like even NASDAQ right now, no action. Next thing it's gonna happen is approximately your 8 p.m. something should be okay. So it has plotted your value areas already. Yeah, diversions only 3020 because then it would, trust me, it works. The moment you have a diversion and diversion to the upside or downside, let the trend change and you will get at least 10 points, at least 10 points. One of my favorite after mid-band is your diversion on 30-20. And when that comes and trend changes, so to explain what a diversion is, when it makes higher, let's say diversion to the downside would be, you have a higher high, and it's bullish, and the second higher high, how can you set trail stop? It's you can do it auto through ATM. Just type in Google and test it with a simulation account. Just type in how to auto trail your profits. So every time the price would move up 1 point, you would just follow it along. So coming back to the diversion, it would make a higher high on 30-20, and then another higher high, but your strength is didn't go into overbought. It's still lower than the previous. So your RSI is lower than the previous higher high. And when that trend changes to bearish, jump in, make 5-10 points, right? So it comes in every sometime once a day. I'm trying to see if I have a diversion to the downside today on 30-20. So let me see if I can find. I don't think we have any today. I'm just trying to find 8:27 to 8:55 a.m. Okay, let me see a diversion. 8:27. Sorry, I gotta switch from. Yes. Hello. Hello. जी सर नमस्ते सर जी सर 16 सिर्फ iCore 7 iCore 5 और 16 gig of RAM that's it हाँ जी सिर्फ 16 gig of RAM देखें बस नहीं मैकबुक नहीं चलती सॉरी यस हाँ जी नहीं वो 16 क्योंकि हमारा सॉफ्टवेयर विंडोज़ पे चलता है यस नहीं विंडोज़ कोई भी विंडोज़ का हो जाए नो ठीक है नो प्रॉब्लम आजकल मिल जाती है $400-500 की कजीजी पे मिल जाएगी आपको हाँ नो प्रॉब्लम कोई प्रॉब्लम no problem okay thank you yes you were 100% right at exactly 8:27 a.m. it hit 45.17 and then right away at 8:49 when it went up to your another higher high it made but your strength didn't go and then when it started to take a turn take a look man 20 points you're 100% right that was first so that would be a short diversion to the downside so let me see if I can find one where diversion to the upside 1 second okay take a look at it 407 it made a lower low give me a second hello जी वाले साहब नहीं चेंज कर रहे हैं मैं अभी आपको 1 घंटे तक नया पैनल दे रहा हूँ 1 आवर दीजिएगा खुद ही चल जाएगा आपने कुछ भी नहीं करना नहीं मैं अभी करवा देता हूँ अभी कर देता हूँ अभी कर ओके so take a look at what happened was at, I think, but only came approximately, trend changed, but went down again. So at 338, what's EMA? I don't know. Like our band parameters are not done by time, number one. I only did on 1510 chart mid band. I'll tell you exactly the trade I took. I took only 2 trades. After the news, I took a mid band trade at 1035. Okay, so 1030, 1035 was my first mid band, and I took 3 points, 4 points there, and 4 points I took at 1056. These were the only 2 trades I done today. That's it, nothing else. Then another trade I took when I went S2, I did a long from area to area, but didn't come back. Now it's starting to come back, so I did a long at 44.75 at that time. But it went to expected low, and now it's back up to 40. It went up to 44.73 before the evening session, which I was expecting that it should close between 70 to 80, because the market kind of at least returns 35 points. At most cases, it should return 35% of its original move. So, see, if you take a look at the moving averages, each bar is your moving average, which is down there. That is working with your Bollinger Bands. So those are okay, but for beginners, just follow your mid-band entry right here, right exactly here. Like I said, there are well over 13 different indicators we have programmed in it, and safest one is always been mid-band, no problem, an entry point. So and going up, could have taken a 312 here, but I don't like these large triggers changing colors, and they were twisting, so I thought this was already big enough push ups of so I said, nah, I'm gonna miss that. So but then I didn't trade. So but anybody, 1 here, 2 here, 3 here, 3 mid bands, and in the morning, how many time mid bands came on 1510? So yeah, as soon as the news kind of finished, 1, 2, 3 right here, and then 4, and then 5. So 5 mid bands altogether. Green background in a bearish momentum. Yeah, because okay, what happened is right here is this is a retrace on a 30-20 on a bigger time frame. Yeah, so let 30-20 do a complete retrace, and then if the trend changes, then you enter to the boat. Like I would not have entered this, it was not a trade here. So let me see what happened exactly here. So at 1021, most likely 30-20 at 1021. Let's take a look. This is right here. See, if you let's expand this. So you can expand it completely right here. So this was a retrace. You see, got oversold, retrace, came down, hit the mid band, came down more, right? So because you have to understand the mid band changes from 3 points on 1510 and 5 points from 3020. So if the retrace was due at a 22, 20, almost 20 points, this was the retrace that happened, and that's what was happening at this time. So all of this took place in this right here, this section. So that's why you have your 1510. So there you go. So retrace had happened, and you would enter right here, 1044. You would enter at 1044. That alright, midband is coming. You enter from midband, because that is your best risk to reward ratio, right? Where you really only risk $150 or $15 on a micro, right? And all of this happened then during the news, trend up, trend down. It was happening right here. Go with the bigger move. Hello? जी जी ठीक ठाक. हाँ जी हाँ जी ठीक है.
ट्राई किया सब कुछ फिल कर.
एक सेकंड मैं देख लेता हूँ. इसमें आपने यही करना था. दैट्स इट. भर दिया आपने. सही किया.
रविंदर सिंह, उसमें
ठीक
अपना
है.
नाम डाल दी. इसमें मुझे अपना डेट ऑफ बर्थ लिखना है, नंबर 8
हाँ लिख दें लिख दें.
जी. और
हाँ लिख दें.
जी, वो मैंने लिख दिया. अब उसके आगे और कुछ तो मुझे समझ
नहीं नहीं बस वो फॉर्म भर दें और दैट्स इट.
जी, उनको मैं ईमेल कर दूंगा.
हाँ जी कर दें.
थैंक यू वेरी मच.
नो प्रॉब्लम. Yeah, it can work anywhere. Like you can do commodity. I can show you. You can look up Apple stock right here. Let me switch. I have Apple stocks, Amazon stocks right here. I'm gonna switch this to right here. I will pick up actual, let's say commodities, micros, futures. There you go. Crude oil. So everything is gonna switch over to crude oil. So there you go. Now I am looking at crude oil. Guys, principle is the same. Like to me, crude oil is overbought, right? It's outside of my 240 band, and right here, it works on every single thing as long as you can get your data on your NinjaTrader. It works. Stocks, options, crypto, like anything, it will plot out. Doesn't. Right now it's crude oil. If you had shorted $1, like crude oil right here, you could have shorted from our areas and then made, because I still believe crude oil inventories are low. So it's outside of the band of 240. So you can do a short and make, if the crude oil even drops like $2, no problem. There you go, crude oil. Next, I want to show you, for example, your commodities of micros, futures. There you go. I have gold December contract. See, I'm not married to a particular, it's just I like ES because I get most amount of news with S&P 500 and everything, right? So there you go. Your gold does the same thing. There you go. This is a gold. Then you have natural gas futures, NQ, Nasdaq, Russell's. Let me see natural gas. NG. Where is it? There you go, Bitcoin. September's contract for Bitcoin, BTC. Crypto right now. Same idea, guys. Mid-band, mid-band, mid-band. Enter through. There you go. Short here. Short here. There you go. Next is your where is natural gas? I don't think I'm paying for natural gas anyway. Let's see Apple stock. There you go, Apple stock. Apple stock at what time? 9:53. Went up. Mid-band up. You knew everything was fine. Apple stock, individual stocks. What else? S&P 500. Let's see. I think it's Adobe maybe. I don't have the data for it. So as long as the data can come, you're okay. Let me see Amazon. Let me connect to connect. $10.16 and retrace and touch. Let me go back to 10.16. 1 second. Of course, market is closed. No data is gonna come from. Let me see if I can. Which company I have it. There you go. There you go. Now I'm connected, and let's load historical data. S&P 500. There you go. Dish Network in States. How are they doing? You can pick individuals, no problem. There you go. That's the Dish's stock, 1510 whole day. A lot of stocks that doesn't move, nothing you can do about it. Nasdaq, let's see, Nasdaq 100. Tesla. There you go, Tesla stock right here. So same idea, mid-band, mid-band, mid-band. It's dropping to, there you go. It doesn't matter the stock, it will analyze it for you. And currencies, that's Dow Jones right here. Here's your Dow Jones. $33,355. 450, 34, 455. Okay. What else? Forex. Let's see. Euro USD. Kiora, Japan. I don't think I even have the data for it. No. I have the CME data, I think. No, no data. Yes, only divergence 30-20. Yes, 35 of the generally whatever the move is, 30 to 35% of the whole move. So this is the actual cash index, I believe. What's the price right now of S&P? Let me go back to the original question of yes. Let's do. Okay. Let me go to 10:16 a.m. Let me see. 10:16 a.m. What exactly happened at 10:16 a.m.? Ten sixteen. Okay. Why I wouldn't have entered at. No, it doesn't plot, but I think we can plot it for you, but it doesn't plot by default. See, what happened was on 1016, even though it went, but look at how many mid bands you already had, right? So take a look at number of points at 1016. So when it started to fall, approximately 10 o'clock, like you got almost 14 points, then you fell down, it gave back 5, it fell down another 8, gave back 5, fell down another 6, gave back 6. So 1, 2, 3. Of course, fourth mid bands, you were getting overbought like 1016, right? So you're, oversold, right? So 1016. Yeah. So come down here and take a look at right here. Now that became pretty risky. So that's why you had a little bit of a, if you want to be a little safe, right? Take a look at a 30-20 and you're like, all right, 10 change on me. Should I, if you can hold it and let's see if you can hold for 5 points. So 5 points, midpoint from will change on 30-20, right? So if you don't want to give away those, because price did go back down, it was just a retrace on 30-20. So you can test the first test, like sometimes I would hold. So 15-10, if I've entered a mid band and I know retrace is due, I will let it, really So what I would do is on 30-20, I will check my area. So see where exactly I'm standing on. So if it falls within my area and I know it may be bouncing back from there, then I'll close my trade. But if it's still farther away, but then I will see, all right, that means 30-20 still has more room and it's just a retrace, and I can, maybe I'll pick up another order at that time, since now it's at a mid band of 30-20, right? So you can take an advantage of that. You don't have to get scared on a 15-10 exit. Yes, of course, when a trend changes on 30-20, on a bigger time frame the trend has changed, right? So a lot of times I like, because again I hold micros sometimes, even minis overnight, no problem. So I would have left it, but on the for the beginners I would say, just close that trade. It could go against you. So because what happens is it made a higher low. Okay, why that trade was not a smart trade to enter from that mid band? It was oversold on 30-20, number one. It had two diversion lines to go back up. So I knew that, the triggers were not like, if you look at the large trigger at exactly 10-16 mid band, the large triggers are green, right? So I had so many things saying, hey, don't enter it here, right? So then you are just bringing your ratio down to like less and less percent to to pass, right? So 30-20 is getting oversold, number one. Number two, I have 15-10 is saying, hey, there's two diversions to the upside. That's number two. Number three, my large triggers are not magenta. So that short, these are the three main things I would have been telling me, hey, I better not enter, right? So that's what I would say, right? So at a 10-16, that I wouldn't have taken a trade there. No. Three things I'm not comfortable. Oversold around that time and already I knew 5 or 6 or 7 mid bands. Not 5 or 6. At least 3 mid bands are done. Fourth could be tricky one. My large triggers weren't green at that time, so all of these things you have to kind of keep an eye on at any given time. That hey, so. Same idea of 312, right? At 312, I'm thinking it's overbought. Of course, it could have gone with me, but my percentage to win and now pretty much 50-50 because it's overbought. The large triggers are your magenta. I know market has gone up. But I better not, right? So, but hey, if somebody's taken that 15-10, you got one mid band at 312, second mid band at 351. So first mid band alone, almost 8 points. Second mid band, you got your, I think 2 or 3 points, at least 4 points. Third mid band, you got 7 points. Now there's a diversion. Now look, like right now, a trade is happening where it's hit the mid band and it's actually gone back up, and but I'm looking at that 15-10 line and now I'm in doubt that it's a diversion to the downside, right? So I'm not gonna take that mid band because already 1, 2, 3, same situation of 10 in the morning is happening. That trade, I'm not comfortable. Even though it's not overbought on 30-20, but these diversion lines are bothering me, right? So when things like that, and the large triggers are okay, they're still green. It's at zero line, it would touch, go back up, but technically you already made 2 points right here because 4467 you picked up, now it's 4469, you can exit, right? So it's all relative to it's risk management. Your day trading is nothing but risk management. Your risk is versus your, if you can just take care of your risk management, 15-10, you'll come out as a winner. Some people purely trade on mid bands on 30-20, but that takes forever, forever to, because the bar time frame is too big, right? So sometime um, yeah, this fourth mid band on upside, I'm gonna switch over to Nasdaq. Let's see if I can pick up evening areas that posted. Nasdaq is the only market that kind of has some pulse in it at night. So let me switch over to futures and MNQ, micro Nasdaq. So look at the Nasdaq just do 30-20 mid bands. 15-10 is way too fast. So 15-10 is saying going up. So large triggers are opening. I'm gonna put a buy right here. Micro Nasdaq. I'll pick up at a large triggers are opening. As soon as the trend changes, I'll enter at 388. I'll do a buy. GTC.
Order submitted. Order filled.
Okay, let's see how that goes. Should have entered at mid band of 385. I entered at 388. Okay, no problem. Yes, dear, it is $10 a day. But try not to hold any contracts overnight for those, because the contract renewals are up for September. They're coming up. So depending on your broker, so best not to trade and hold, and don't get stuck in a position. Yay.
Order submitted.
I'm gonna see how can I.
Order failed.
Trying to see how can I set the strategies custom. So let's do stop loss 12 ticks, profit 8 ticks, and save as template and custom.
Order failed. Stop failed.
But this is not working. So stop. Profit trigger 8 plus 4. Sim.
Order failed.
So my stop loss is so 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is my just testing some ATM, and my loss is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, mid 12. So Ninja Trader Auto Chase.
Strategy Selection Notes video. We will be covering the following topics. Strategies. These options can be enabled by clicking the More button in the ATM Strategy Parameters menu. Chase with reversals, which automatically reverses a position when the stop loss or profit target is up, deploying them live. Auto Chase will automatically modify the price of an order as the last traded price moves up. Its limit value must be defined.
In this video, I'll show you how to configure an automatic trailing stop. You'll learn how to access the stop strategy menu and update frequent loss order.
My battery's dead, so I gotta get good. Check the areas for, let's see, 1 hour. Yeah, if it's magenta, it's really the 240 that I looked for. See, the thing is, it touched your mid band of 240 and it's going up. let me see. I'm on actually NASDAQ. Let me go to ES. Let me take a look at what is going on in ES world. ES world is, yeah, the 60-minute chart is saying it's at a, I think it may actually bounce back from here because on a 60 it's touched the bottom rail, right? Bottom guard rail, on which is the mid band of 1 second, current price 4469. It's at the bottom of your 60-minute chart, and it could fall further. Yes, the boxes on 240 minute, it could go down to 4428, 4431. Yeah, possibility. It's right now at the 144-minute chart, right at a mid band of that. Right, so it still could go and test 4442, possible. Because for the long duration, 240 chart really is my go-to. Because it does a few things. You have the value area, you have your pivot points there, you have night session, so really the 240 does quite a bit for me. So within, see, this is making this cluster here. So for that, I have a feeling that it could go down more. Yeah. And ultimately, if you look at the 144-minute chart, 4300 is the bottom, 4291 is the bottom rail, right? So, but if you look at the 240-minute chart, every time it goes outside of those bands, price generally comes in, right? So, for example, take a look at your August 3rd, right? 4505, then went back up and back in, touched the mid band of 240, then touched on 10th August, went back in, tested the mid band again, then went down 4459, tested the mid band of 240. So every time it does a test of 240 mid band, and when it broke on approximately August 19, and then when it broke, the midband turned green, went up, and then it was, so outside of the band it did went outside on upper side 4547. So now it's heading down. So let's see if it tests 4431, 4429. That should be the new areas for tomorrow, because it's now in the lower band of it, right? So again, you have the 1510 mid band, you have 3020 mid band, you have the 60-minute mid band, then you have the 240 mid band. So right, so many support and resistance levels, right? So entries 1510, confirmation is 3020, and then you look at the overall base and range using 240, right? So I think If it comes to again 4431, yeah, good buy area for position trading. That may actually be the S2 for tomorrow. Imagine all I have to do by hand on TradingView. That would be just little too crazy. Here, I just look at it and analyze it rather than computing it, right? Drawing those lines when just it's much easier to just look at it and just make an entry, right? Rather than just now I'm drawing so many things here. Let my 16 gigs of RAM do the work, right? So I'm glad some people got out of, they were stuck around 4,500 mark in the last 2 days. They were able to, because I had a feeling like last time around March, they would, keep the price up. And then when the contract renewal came, they generally don't bring the price down, right? So they may do an opposite on this term, that if they keep the price, problem with script would be then it gets hacked so quickly. So this is pretty closed source environment within Ninja, right? And TradingView, like, it's all based on cloud, right? So here the processing is happening on your local computer. That's why we need the iCore 7, iCore 5, and I don't think TradingView will be able to handle that much data from our side, right? To be able to draw that fast on a cloud, on any, so on this scale where you have everything happening. So I know I'll get a lot, like we're gonna work on MetaTrader next. That's what the engineering team has told us, that that could be the next. Let me turn the lights on here. All right, guys. How long it's been? 1 hour, 17 minutes. So I'm done in about 6-10 minutes. If anybody has questions? No problem. I'm here every day, 6 p.m. when the market reopens to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. We can go back analyzing the data. Of course, tomorrow I love Hive Impact News, because tomorrow it'll get overbought, oversold so quickly. And they actually, because it's all computer trading that's happening outside in institutions, right? So FOMC speeches, and you're gonna see crazy. Oh yes, he's gonna speak at 10, or she, whoever. Unemployment claims at 8:30, so that'll set the tone. You're expecting 232,000 people to lose the jobs. Let's see unemployment claims. But whole day you have FOMC talking. Crude oil inventories. Yes, for natural gas, as the winter is coming, natural gas supply is okay. What else? Yeah, so you have these two. FOMC, crazy. So tomorrow will be a fun day too. Evening session, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. You have some volume because smart money is not there. Smart money is sleeping, right? And 3:30 a.m. European session, when European traders come in, smart money kicks in, right? So, and then that's it. So 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. is ideal. 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. is ideal. Why I don't like 8:30 is a lot of schedule news, as well as your earnings for S&P 500. They can, like for gold, crude oil, natural gas, other things matter, but for earnings, S&P 500, 8:30 pre-market, and then after market you have 4:30 earnings. So I've I've lost big, especially during earnings time. So try not to be in a trade after 4 o'clock, because could go anytime. We had one trader today, and numbers came up, and he was in the short trade, and the market went into free fall, and yes, so it could go against you anytime. Any news so tomorrow unemployment came at 8:30. Let's see what happens at the night session. Night session, I think personally, let's see the areas, if areas got posted. Computer generates those areas, and superareas.com. Let's log in and see if those areas got posted. Let's see, RA. Evening areas. Okay, so 45.15 is the expected high, and September 6th, and you have 45.05 to 45.15. Yeah, that would be good. If it gets there, then I would do a short from there, and you have the low of 44.35. So if you take a look at any class on the weekend, I cannot really do any class because the market is not moving. So it's really those lectures, honest to God, the software is so powerful. Sometime teaching, it feels funny because what am I supposed to teach, right? Am I teaching the entry point? You sit and wait. You should know what a diversion is. So the concepts are really 6 or 7 concepts, and don't trade during news. Don't only trade. So we have risk management. We have little bit. What else? The timing, how to do it. Some fundamental analysis. So I'll do I do a daily session on. It's more presentations on what do we do rather than teaching you. Teaching is 4 videos, 5 videos. So, and it all comes down to for you to trade based on 1510, right? So just looking what these lines mean, right? So really, if what I personally use out of all of those, I use mid-band on 1510, number 1. I use 30-20 chart, and I look at confirmation overbought, oversold. That's my number 2 indicators. I don't pay much attention to moving averages, Bollinger Band, and those dots and diversion. Number 3, I would look at 240 chart to see where exactly it's hovering, and that's it, right? So there's of course, we can analyze the data and see, and then next is what is your stop loss? Stop loss is 3 points, right? So I can answer 5 p.m. on Saturday. I'll be in person on our Highway 7 in Weston, and for the new, I can answer every question. But really, teaching wise, those are 5 or 6 basic. To be honest, what I've been finding is most people are having a little bit of hard time just picking the entry in terms of how, what price do they, I like these bars to them are confusing. If the price is going up, they think it will break mid-band, and so it's the trend you follow. So we all comes down to like, you'll read, you, there you go. Let me see if it actually filled my order. I'm gonna see what exactly happened. So 1 second, because I was testing an ATM. So what is happening now? My stop loss became my profit. It's gotta move. So profit got locked, but my 8 ticks profit didn't move. My stop loss moved to my 4 ticks automatically. But how come it's not trailing yet? That's what my question is. So my second stage worked.
Stop filled.
Stop filled. That's fine. But what is not working is, so what I was saying, I'll play around with it more. The idea is news. You check the base, you check your range, and then you check your trend. So like 1, 2, 3, and 3 has ABCs. So 1, for new people looking at the smaller time frame, is really tough and can't get away from the screen. You have to understand this, to be able to, make easy money, they should be able to at least spend 90 minutes on it, right? So at the beginning. So that should cover your fees. I know they don't want to sit but that's what the job of day trader is, right? A day trader anywhere in the world can open up, look at a few things, and if natural gas it as midpoint, hey, get in. If euro is there, if some people honestly just only trade NASDAQ micro from area to area. So when it gets to extreme high, then you just short it. When if it gets to extreme low, you do a long trade and make $200. So for us to sit there, really the only time is 9 o'clock to 11 o'clock. That's 2 hours, and even it's really 9:30. And so I'm sure if you took 2 mid-bands today, $200, that's it. That's an easy $200. Sometimes that's all people are looking for, right? So it all depends on, you can do, I have people in Calgary, they do FDAX, so which is similar to your S&P 500, right? So it's all depends on what do you do, right? So market is starting to go up, so I'm sure I'll check my yeah, to be honest, everything is manipulated, right? So they know what the retail investor is doing. So manipulation, in a sense, what do you call manipulation? What I call is manipulation is where you take over by force. So what the force is, if I have million subscribers, let's do a long position 4446 and 10,000 people buy it, that will become a market manipulation in a sense, right? So it's just, if you have bigger capital, you put 1,000 lot in, and there you go, automatically market will move. I just like S&P 500 because of structure. Why I like S&P 500 personally? Because at the end of the day, it's supposed to go up. Everybody in the world invests. Every single person invests in the world in an index, so it's supposed to go up, right? So So generally, if it's down out of your 240 mid band, Nasdaq, because everybody invests into stocks to make money, right? On a long term, even government institutions, everybody, right? And I like. Some people prefer short. I don't. I used to, but I've gotten burned too many times because when you're going against the crowd, you're not, and everybody wants the price to. At the end, the company could go bankrupt, but the idea is long will save you somewhat, meaning that, but short, the chances of market to come down, of course, panic will create things will come down faster, 5 times faster. But if you're doing let's say you buy Apple or whatever, some company, and over a long period of time, it should bounce back up, right? So, yeah, S&P 500 is and FDAX is very scheduled. News, interest rate, inflation, employment data, Dow Jones, these 4 index, Dow, Russell, at least trading them is somewhat like Bitcoin. I would never be able to make sense out of that because it's again too many. Binance gets sued, Bitcoin is down, XRP wins, XRP is a thing, right? So we only care about exactly you're right. Trend is your friend, and until it bends, right? So. But I'm glad that I'm able to. I know you're looking at new people, but just imagine not having this kind of software, right? And availability of the price, right? So just now I've gotten a lot of people who wanted to get into trading, and now they can afford it somewhat, and they can say, hey, now this looks doable. Like, so now they're not scared of trading, to be honest, on a very personal skills that people I've talked to who had zero experience. So yeah, these indicators because they work with time frame, right? 5-minute candles, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So we said no, let's see where the volume is taking place, where the smart money is happening, and we base our predictions based on that, right? And so that's why there's lots of indicators. At least wherever smart money moves, we move. Sometime you'll sit there, the bar will move for half an hour with this zero. Like, for example, right now, right? Because the problem is you start making patterns on candles, and it's gonna get so. We really were looking for a solution where a person who has never traded before and wants to get into trading, they can somewhat, get an idea, and pretty inexpensive. And if you do micro, generally you're able to not only come up with your whole fees for the month, you're able to, make an extra income, right? Sometimes it's a car payment, sometimes it's a little bit of extra, whatever your targets are, right? So, but those guys really didn't have a chance at the beginning, right? Outside with some other products where they're too complicated or too expensive, right? So I'm so happy that NinjaTrader 8.1 came, and now we can offer this subscription model, right? So before was quite difficult for anybody, even for us, to give this on a license base, right? Anyway, guys, it's been an hour and 33 minutes. I gotta go. Let's see how this market behaves by morning, and we'll connect again tomorrow. And for those who are subscribers, you guys should be able to look at Daniel's daily brief, 10 a.m. He posts at 9:30 a.m., but by the time the audio comes and the processing takes, so we posted around 10. And we don't want anybody to trade after 11 anyway, so we take it down, right? So that's a free bonus now. So if you're so you can kind of get Dow Jones, Russell, S&P, and Nasdaq, these 4 markets, gold, crude oil, what else? natural gas, and couple of then forex currencies and futures. And why again futures is, man, the idea is you can put $250 down and start trading legally with a reputable broker in US, and you can just start trading, right? Say, right? Doesn't require, with a lot of other things you do require, like if you wanted to start doing Apple stock, Amazon stock, or any index or cash, people kind of tend to not get into this, and they say, hey, this requires quite a bit of investment. And so not only they have to now understand, so we then came up with this product, and it's, to be honest, it's doing really well, right? New Zealand, Australia, UK, and for those people who wanna again set a target of couple $100 a day to, you know, whatever you want to do this part-time, full-time, it helps us too, right? Brings extra residual income, right? So, all right, take care, guys. So I'll connect with you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.